Welcome to the Illegal Immigration Topics channel. I'm your host, CP. In today's topic, this Afghanistani illegal immigrant man tried to unalivement attempted murder of his sister. These are the type of border breaker illegal immigrants that numbers of people are fighting for against ICE also. And this is where I'm looking at things like this as well. You got people sitting there fighting against ICE for these little violent cretin type of border breaker illegal immigrants like this as well. And the thing about it is, when you think about this particular border breaker illegal immigrant coming from Afghanistan, the thing about it is what makes it again brilliant is, does he look like a typical Afghanistanian? Of course not, right? People look different ways and different backgrounds and different things. Just because you look at certain background of people does not mean that person will look like a stereotype version overall. It really just depends. But those are different kind of topics and things like this. Relating to this topic, he tried to unalive his sister. See, the thing about it is, unfortunately, there is a westernized feminism workness that's also going on even more within Americanism, and it's spreading itself to various other parts of the planet. But again, those are different kind of topics in itself. But this also is one of the reasons that he decided to unalive his sister. He felt that she was getting a little too, or starting to try to get in a westernized mentality, right? Now, regardless, he's still a border breaker illegal immigrant. He's a violent one, right? So let me go ahead and share my screen on this. Make sure you can see this part. See, these kind of stories are not talked about enough. This is why I like to also do these type of stories as a timepiece purpose. Today is January the 27th, 2026. And you see the various types of madness that's going on in Minnesota and things like that. You have Renee Good and her lesbian wife trying to interfere with ICE duties of immigration enforcement. You had the other guy, Pretty, and stuff like that, that they are, or we're trying to agitate, however, ICE agents, things like this. And again, I'm not getting into ICE agents that are bad or good. I'm not getting into all that. That's not the topic. The problem is that regardless, there are people that are losing their minds of trying to fight, right? ICE and however other personnel, and trying to protect violent and non-violent border breaker illegal immigrants, visa overstays left and right, and etc. But the same type people, they know who they are. They couldn't go to another country or island, whatever it is, and break immigration laws, right? Now, unless they are from that particular country or island, etc., where they may have a certain bianisticness. The ones who do, because they're ones that come from certain type of islands or countries, and things like that, that they're not going to play that type of ignorance, right? They know if American citizens, centuries old American citizens, right? Not ones that just got, anyway, they know already that wouldn't be tolerated if American citizens, not some latecomers and then became naturalized. We're not going to do that. We're talking about American citizens that's been in America for centuries. See, people know that the same type of toleration for these border breaker illegal immigrants that's going on right now by quite a number of people, that's not going to be tolerated in many other countries, right? And then protesting for the same type of border breaker illegal immigrants, they're not going to allow them to go into another country. They'd be like, wait a minute now. You're late coming to this country. You don't have a right to protest. Well, we're a citizens country. First of all, many are not going to be American citizens. I don't want to go into all that. So let's just go ahead and read this particular topic. ICE arrests criminal alien from Afghanistan convicted of attempted murder. Assault. The alien stabbed his teenage sister after calling her a bad Muslim girl. Let's continue. Look at this. Right? See, that's why you can't always look at the outside appearances and think, oh, they look so violent or they look so non-violent, but illegal immigrants. Anyway, I'm going all that either. But this particular violent border breaker illegal immigrant, he wouldn't fit the bill of what somebody thinks is a border breaker illegal immigrant, right? Or a violent one. Right? Look at that. Look at that border breaker illegal immigrant. Disgusting. Right? That people couldn't go to Afghanistan and break border immigration laws like that. American citizens better not do that. Rochester, New York. ICE Buffalo arrested an illegal immigrant from Afghanistan convicted of attempted murder after he stabbed his 19-year-old sister numerous times in an attempt to unalive her. ICE officers arrested Wahid, such and such person, Muhammad, only 39, in Rochester, New York, January 1st, January 1st. This criminal illegal alien tried to unalive his own sister, said ICE director, such and such person. A court convicted him of first-degree attempted murder, and first-degree assault, then sentenced him to 10 years in prison and 5 years of supervision. When we say ICE is arresting the worst of the worst, this is exactly what we mean. We're conducting targeted enforcement operations to arrest and remove convicted criminals like Muhammad, who pose clear threats to their families, communities, and states. Muhammad stabbed his sister several times following a 2008 argument where he called her a bad Muslim girl and said she had disgraced her family by dressing immodesty and frequently danced clubs. While such person, Muhammad, was given a golden opportunity to lawfully reside in the United States, but instead of making the most of his American dream, he decided to break our laws by violently attacking his own sister, said ICE enforcement and removal operations Buffalo, such person. As a convicted violent offender, Muhammad represents the worst of the worst and is exactly the kind of alien, border breaker, legal immigrant alien, that ICE Buffalo seeks to remove from our New York neighborhoods. ICE Buffalo will continue to prioritize the safety of our American communities by arresting and removing criminal alien offenders from our streets. Muhammad lawfully, right, entered the United States May 24, 2004. His conviction for attempted murder, however, violated the terms of his legal status. On February 6, 2009, the state of New York convicted Muhammad of attempted first-degree murder and first-degree assault. The court sentenced him to 10 years in prison and 5 years of post-release supervision. ICE Buffalo entered Muhammad into removal proceedings in April 2009. And on May 31st, 2012, a Justice Department immigration judge ordered Muhammad deported from the United States. ICE Buffalo officers arrested Muhammad January 1st in Rochester, New York, and took him into custody. Muhammad will remain in custody pending his removal from the U.S. Members of the public with information regarding criminal alien offenders can make a report by calling ICE tip line at 1-866-DHS-2ICE. That's 1-866-347-3423 or complete an online form. So the thing about it, this particular border breaker, legal immigrant, Afghanistanian, violent cretin, he came to the United States legally under whatever particular false pretenses or regurgitated politicalness that many of them do, or this regurgitated parakeeting or whatever it is that they have been taught to say, right, to come to the United States, right? But at the same time, American citizens cannot just regurgitate the same thing to the same type of countries that like this particular cretin border break illegal comes from. They be like, no. They're not going to allow that. You're not going to regurgitate some regurgitated parakeeting type of rhetoric. Oh my goodness, we're trying to escape political violence. We're trying to escape, we're in fear for our families' lives. They're not going to do that, right? Not going to let you do that in some other countries. No. They're not going to let American citizens do those kind of things. But they know the United States is one of the number one immigrant allowability of the milk and honey type of country that these people are coming to not sit there and be patriotic. They're coming to America to sit there and get resources, right? And get whatever freebies they can, right? Taxpayers' money, et cetera, right? And then try to pretend that they are paying to the system while at the same time they're not paying even half of the kind of resources that they continue to keep getting, right? And it's not a one thing or another type of game they're playing, right? The point is they're not coming over here in a collective way, again, to be patriotic. They're coming over to the United States with their own type of agendas, right? To use the system to gain whatever they can get, to do whatever they can to send money to their own families in their own countries, or to come over to America to get whatever the things that they can try to get for free, right? And use the system that they try to in their little scamming mentality, the ones who do this, right? Because this right here is a very violent one. So I thank you for tuning in to the illegal immigrations topics channel. I'm your host, CP.